Okay, everyone. Pardon me. I've opened up our assembly room 8 ease model again. Now we're going to put some stuff inside it. And it's closed. I think it's all just fine. I'm going to do an F6 just to make sure. Get an F6, no errors. So I want to put this window in this wall here, and we've got to get a point in that, right on the plane of that wall where that window begins. Well, if I look at the section, I see that the bottom of the window is 17 feet above the floor. And if I put a vertex right there, say 17 feet up, and then move it out, uh, uh, duplicate it out here 3 feet, that's, we'll assume this window starts 3 feet in the minus Y direction, we've got enough to put this window together. So, and we can do the same thing at the other end of the window, and we got it made. So let's select this wall here, and we're going to start with a vertex on the face margin. So vertex on face margin, that's right here. This is going to be up 17 feet, so I can get close there, 1706. Now, we can fix it. We can put it right on 17 feet. There's 1703, that's pretty good. But if we didn't want that to be, then we could select it, and we could do an F4 and just make it 17 even if that made us feel better. Okay, so there it is, 17 even. Now it's out here 3 feet in this wall, and the angle was minus 4.3 degrees. That's this wall right here. So I'm going to select this guy, and then I'm going to say duplicate, not displace, but duplicate. If I displace it, it'll pull this whole wall out here because it's part of it right now. The way to do would be to take it out of all of that, but this will work just fine. So the horizontal angle here is minus 4.3. And the distance we're going is 3 feet. And we just want to repeat that one time. So we can say, okay. Okay. There's the beginning of our window. Now we don't want this guy. We'll take him out of there later, but right now it doesn't matter. And we also know that the window is 3 feet tall. This is the window up here in this wall. So I can do a right mouse there and duplicate this guy, but this time I'll use Cartesian coordinates, and the X is, I don't want to take it anywhere, nor the Y, but the Z goes up 3 feet. There we are. Now, down in the other end here, we can do the same thing and then just connect up these vertices. So in this wall, again, we can say vertex on face margin and take it up here about 17 feet. We can always, there's 1701, and I'd say that's 17 feet. Again, if you want it exactly right, you can always select it, do an F4, and make it exactly 17. Probably doesn't matter, but I will do that. There's our 17. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to duplicate this guy, and we want to use polar coordinates. So now the angle isn't minus 4.3 anymore. Find my little cheat sheet here. There it is. that angle is going back the other way. So the angle would be 180 minus 4.3, I believe. I think that's right. So we'll try it in event. So 180 minus 4.3, 175.7. So we're going to see if that works. I'll take this guy here, and we're going to say duplicate. 3 feet, all right, but the vertical angle is now a plus 175.7. 175.7. I hope that's right. We'll say OK. Oh, I went the wrong direction. And so that is obviously not right. So we can delete that guy. And it's going to go back this direction. How can we find that easily? That angle, let's say we don't know. What if we know this is the right angle? So if we take this guy and we say keep for distance, and this one we say show distance, it'll give us an angle. And the horizontal angle is 157.7, all right. So better check that out and see what we did wrong. 175, I'm sorry, not 157, 175.7. That's why I was wrong. So we'll say, okay, but that's an easy way to get that angle. So 175.7. All right, so we'll do our duplicate thing again. Only this time we'll make it 175.7. I believe that's correct now. And it's 3 feet. I'm sorry, that's 0. I'll get it right yet. That's the horizontal angle. 175.7. Easy for you to make mistakes. And we can say, okay, and okay, and there we are. Got this a little bigger. And so now we have the bottom of the window over here. Now we take this guy, and we're going to duplicate him up 3 feet. So what I want to do is go 0 y and 0 z and 0 x rather, and 3 feet z, and say okay. Okay, we got it. Now we have the ends of our window. So we can draw a, before we do that, we have these extra vertices, and they're part of that wall, and they're part of that wall. Now they don't hurt anything, but if we don't want to see them, we can get rid of them pretty easily. We can't just delete them because they're tied on to this wall or this wall, because they turn yellow like the other vertices in this wall. But what we can do is know what these points are. This one is P35, and this one is P38, P35 and P38. We select this wall here, and we do an F4. We don't want P35 and P38. Well, here we're on P38. Let's just delete it. And we don't want P35 either. Here, P35, delete it. Say, okay. Well, it's part of this wall too. And this one was P38 there. We go to F4. We don't want P38 right here. And if we delete him, okay. Now this isn't attached to anything, and since it isn't, we can delete it. Yeah. And this one is not part of this wall, but it's still part of this wall. And it's P35. So we can go to this wall, F4, find P35, and delete him. Say OK. And now we could delete this guy. Delete. OK. Now do we have to delete those? Not really. It'll be OK without them, or rather with them there. But sometimes you don't want some extra vertex to gum up the works. So now we can do a face here. So here's our face. And this is an, let's draw it like an inside face, which it is. To there, and to there, and to there, and there. And we're going to create that face. Now, this face is a two-fold face. It's a piece of glass, and we stuck it on the wall, and we want to paste it on the wall. So it's two-fold, and its material is glass heavy, let's say. Okay. And it's going to be a coat of this wall. I don't remember the number. So I've got to go here and find that's F19. And then I can go back to here and make this a coat of F19. F19 is right there. We can say OK and OK. So we check it again. Yeah, that was F19. And now our window here is an orange color. That's the inside of a two-fold face. If we're looking at the outside of a two-fold face, it's blue. Now what if we wanted a window over on this wall too? And this is F20. Well, there's an easy way. We could select this guy right there. And if we mirror him, the mirror default is around the x equals 0 point, or around the y-axis. And so if I say mirror, and it says it's going to be mirrored around x equals 0, we say OK. Now we have a window on the other wall. But what doesn't go with it is the pasting of it, or the coating of it. It's got to be coated on F20. So we're going to select this here, and we'll do an F4. It's two-fold, all right, but it's still on F19. That's wrong. But if we click here, we can put it in F20, say OK, and OK. Now we have windows on both walls. That looks kind of cool. I think our drawing says only one wall, but this showed one more thing, mirroring. And so I want to do an F6 now. Now we've got some seating to put in here too. And the seating is shown on drawing 1. And it shows that it's a 3-foot aisle here and a 4-foot aisle back here. Then there's a 6-foot center aisle. We only have to put this on one side, not on both sides, because we can mirror it again. So How are we going to go about that? Well, we can do a similar thing. Um, we know that we want this in 4 feet here and in 3 feet there, and it parallels this wall and stops about 6 feet from the front wall. Well, does it have to be perfect? No, it doesn't. But let's do a plan view of it here, like that. And we know the floor is level, so that makes this easier. What if I was going to draw? How about drawing a seating area? I can do that. I can go up here to audience area, and I can say insert it. Um, and that'll put it up 4 feet. I think that I'm going to get out of that. I'm going to draw a polygon instead. And I know that I'm 3 feet over here, and that point is, well, what if I start up here? It's a little easier. This guy is at 22 and 18, so that's 40 feet. And that's about where my cursor is. If I came over here about 3 feet, however, it'd be 37 feet. There's 37.1, and if I draw down here, I want to be, what did I say that was? 6 feet down, so minus 6. So I'm looking where my cursor is. I want to be minus 6 and over at 3 feet over, 37.1, and down 6. I can put this anywhere I want in a minute. So now what if I start to draw right there? And I come down here and I want to be at 79 feet all the way to this wall here. That's 79. And so I want to be 3 feet, so 76 feet. And I want to parallel that wall. I do it just by eye. And I want to be at, what do I got? A 4-foot aisle back there, 79. I want to be about 75 feet down here. Well, I'm at 74.9 right now. 75. Kind of fun to see how close you can get. There's 75.1, and I'll move it over there like that. Now I'm going to come over here to the center, and again I'm going to draw a parallel to the back wall of the room, and I want to be about 3 feet from the center, so I want about a minus 3 foot x coordinate. I'm looking again. There's 2, there's 3 right there, and right down there like that. And then I want to come up here parallel to the center, and I was down about I'm supposed to be at minus 6, but I don't look like I'm there. But I can fix it. I'll put this one at minus 6 there. And let me get out of here like that. And start that over again, because all I wanted to do was a right mouse click at that point. So one more time, let's draw a polygon. I can't insert an audience area because there's more than 4 vertices. but I can insert that polygon again. I'll be down here 6 and over 3. So there's about 6 and about over 3. And here I want to be about 79 minus 4, about 75. Oh, something like that. This doesn't have to be perfect now. And I want to be about minus 3 here. And if I come on there, and I go up here, and I'm going to be down about 6 feet here, parallel to the center line, 6.5. 5.9 is pretty good. And I'll click there, and then I'm going to do a right mouse click. Okay. There's our new face. Is it perfect? No. But it got there quickly. So we know what these points are supposed to be, and we can fix them just fine. This one wanted to be a y value of 6 minus 6, and 3 minus 3, the x direction, and takes care of that guy. It's okay. And we go over to this guy, and we can do an F4. We can fix him. Minus 6. That's the aisle in the front. And this wanted to be over. It wants to be minus 3 about anyway from the edge there. So that would be about 30. Well, 36.9 is not bad. Say okay. And this one wants to be about 4. This one wants to be at about 74, 79, and minus 4, 75, and 74.9. That's probably okay. And this looks all right. That one's okay. And this guy, just want to make sure it's about 3. So we do an F4 again here. And minus 3x, that's good. Say okay. Well, there's what's going to become our audience area. That's pretty close. As close as we need to be. And so we've got this face right here that we put there. And it is a double face right now. But the end result, we don't want that. Our seats have a little bit of little volume. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to do an F4. And I'm going to make that not a two-fold face. I'm going to apply that. And I know, because I'm going to create this volume where the seats are, that wants to be an outside white face anyway. Now, I can put that over on the other side too by mirroring. Go to mirror here, like that. Say okay. Now we got it on the other side. Good. There it is. Now, I'm going to end up pasting this face on the floor. Let's now go to our isometric view here. I normally assume that seats have a volume, give them about 2 feet or something, sometimes 2.2 or something like that. So if I take this guy here, and I'm going to extrude it. And I'm going to extrude it up in the Z direction about 2.2 feet. Just say okay. There we are. Now I want this to take up volume in the room. I want the top of this to be an inside face and the bottom of it to be, I'm inside this box now, and so it's an outside face. And the edges want to be the same way. They want to be inside face there. But if I'm looking inside the box, it's an outside face. I didn't quite get it. There it is. That may seem strange, but this is what works. And so now I want these materials, and I could have helped this by waiting till I had this and then take it over here. But, so we fix this one up in a minute. I want the top of this, and the bottom for that matter, all of it, start with the bottom. I want it to be upholstered chairs unoccupied. Just here, just to get the color. And I want the top to be the same. And then I want these edges to be the same. Is this perfect? No. Representing seats? Of course not, but it's close. And this one. And I think this one is left. Yeah. All right, that's all correct. Now, I have this nice volume there, and I could make an object out of it and move the whole thing, but it's easier just to come over here and do this over again. So I know that the floor is F1, and I want F25 to be coated on F1 because I don't want F1 to be part of the action here. So by doing F4, I'm going to coat this on F1. Okay, that ought to be all right. Over here, I'm going to do the same thing. Now, I could not extrude this. I could have moved some of this over here, but it's just as easy to extrude it. And I want to start with it in a white mode, like I'm inside this box. And I extruded these up, I think, 2.2 feet. Say okay. And now I want to check the material. Well, it says it's glass heavy. That's obviously not it. So we'll go to do an F2 and we'll change these things to upholstered chairs unoccupied. The bottom of it the same way. It wouldn't matter what the bottom was if we coated on the floor, but this gets the color right. And then these edges the same way. We'll start with this edge over here. That one. And this one. And this one. And this one. Now, this is F1 still, the floor, so I'm going to find out what this bottom of this thing is, F31, and we'll do an F4, and we're going to say coat of F1. Okay. it's time to do an F6 here and save everything and make sure we don't have some error here. And I just did an F6 and there's no error shown. Now we have our ceiling panels to put in, and then we're going to be done with this dude. And so, how's the best way to do that? Well, we locate some vertices again, and it turns out that the slope of the two panels in the front of the room is 10 degrees, and the three in the back of the room is 14 degrees. And if we look on the ceiling plan, these are symmetrical, and their edges are at, if we start on the minus side, a minus 32 in the x direction, and 3.5 feet in the minus y direction. I'm now looking at the section. So what if we just put a vertex there? And we need to know how high in the room those are. Well, the front panel is down 5 foot 7 inches. That's not very handy. But 0.7 inches is what in tenths of feet. We can figure it or just probably guess if we want. But I'm going to go to my calculator and say, what's 7 divided by 12? It's like 0.5, 0.6. 7, 5.6 feet down. That's the first two panels. In fact, yeah, that's the first two. We can make one and move it over there. So, and duplicate it. So, if we know that the ceiling up here is at 30 feet, and we're down 5.6. We're down, yeah, I'm sorry. Let me clear this guy. We're up at 30, and we're down at 5.6 feet. So minus 5.6 makes that 11.9 up in the air. That's going to be a vertex up here someplace. Let's just add a vertex. And I don't know where we're going to stick it. Doesn't matter where we put it because we're going to come over here and fix it. And we just said that the z value was up was 30 feet minus 5.6 feet, 23.7. So it's 23.7 up. And it is in the minus y here, minus, it's back 3.5, I'll make it, yeah, 3.5 feet according to the section. 3.5. And the x value, these are over 32 feet. So we'll do the minus side first, doesn't matter, 32 feet. And say OK. And now we have the beginning of the first panel. That's kind of handy. There's a couple of ways to do this from now on. Let's do the short way, the easiest, I guess. So I can, I know these things. Let's look at a plan view first, make sure that everything looks all right. Yeah, that looks about right. Where these are in relation to the wall and so forth. And while I'm right here, I can say, what do I want to do with that? How about if I mirror it to the other side? because these are symmetrical. Over there, that's good. Now also these ceiling panels are rectangular. So what if I add a line here, or an edge? This is called an edge. Insert edge. And we're going to insert the edge from there to there. Say OK. Now what do I want to do with the edge? Well, we're going to extrude it. These panels are 12 feet across, and it's up a vertical angle of 10 degrees. So I'm going to extrude a line and change that to 0. The distance is 12 feet, and the vertical angle, we said, was 10 degrees. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. There's our, let's go to side view. There's our first panel. Now we could give these some width, but we don't have to. But let's go back here and fix their material. I want this guy to be reversed. I like the, it's a two-fold face, and I want the bottom of it to be the inside. So first thing I'm going to do is turn that over like that. And then I'm going to do an F4 here. And it's a two-fold face. And the face side is chipboard. But the back side is going to be, say OK there, but the back side is going to be our 2-inch sound absorbing insulation. Got this roof deck up there that's all hard, so we don't want to make that area above these panels kind of reverberant space, so we'll add some absorption there. We'll say OK. OK. Let's see how that looks. Looks right. Now, the next panel over is at the same height, and it's over 13 feet. In other words, I want that point come over here 13 feet. So what if I just select this guy? Let's see if I can do this. Do a right mouse click and say duplicate it. And let's duplicate it in the Y direction, minus 13 feet, and see if this works. Everything else is the same. Say OK. OK. I'm not sure that worked. No, it didn't. First place, it went up. I did something wrong there. So let's just delete that guy. And these are now vertices all by themselves. We can get rid of them. We don't want them. So let's, we can just go up here and say Tools, Delete Unattached Vertices. Okay. What we want to do is we want to move this whole thing over, straight over. Let's see what we had here when I said duplicate. Aha, we had a 3 foot left there. But what we want to do, it goes over there 13 feet, and I think that'll be right now. Say OK. Oh yeah, there we go. So that's just exactly right. And so we can look at that in our isometric view, and this wants to be the top of it here. That's the blue is the bottom, so what have we got here? Oh, we got it backwards. We want the blue goes down because it's the chipboard. Let's just invert it. And so this one, the top, looks like it's wrong as well. So let's invert it. We want the top to be the insulation and the bottom. Let's do an F4 and look at that. The front face is, oh, I think we had it right to start with. Yeah, we did. Let's turn these guys over. Select him. Turn him over. All right. Now, let's take a look at this guy. And the face, which is the orange side, is chipboard, and the back side is insulation, the rear. Okay. Now, how do we know those numbers, those colors are correct? Right here, if I did an F9 and I went to not view, items, maybe general, I never know which this is. Items, yeah. Items 2. Face color of a two-fold face is orange. Rear is blue. Now you can change those, but I don't, or I'll never remember it. Okay, we got 2 of those guys in. Now we can do the rest of them. The next one, I think we just want to put the edge of it over here, the vertex, and it's over. The X direction is the same, but the Z direction is now, for the first 14-degree panel, is 27, 30.5 feet. Let's see, 14 is 27, 30.5 feet. So what we want to do is put a vertex in here someplace, like we did before. Let's take a vertex someplace. And its X value is minus, its Y value rather, is minus, what did I say, 30.5 feet, 30.5, and its X value is just like all the others. They were they were 32 feet wide, so minus 32. X value is minus 32. That minus 32, and the Z value for that point is 3 feet down from 30 feet. It's the first 14-degree panel, 30. So it would be 27 feet. 27, we can say. Okay. And it's a little bit above this guy. If we look at a side view here and see if it looks right. Maybe that's the best one. It's up there a bit above. It looks like it's a little high, but maybe not. That's height is 27 feet. If it's 3 foot down from the ceiling, that's the correct place. And this guy, I think, is correct. It wants to be the same as that one. And we said and this wants to be 5'7" down, and it's at 23.7, so maybe that's what's wrong. So that's 30, 25, 24, 3. Well, that may be the problem right there. Let's see, where's this guy? That's 23.7, and 23.7. We're down 5.6, 5'7". So let's see. I think we've got some goof up here. We'll get there. This is the way it always goes. And go back to the calculator here. That's the easy way. And so we're 30 feet up, and it's 5.6 feet down, minus 5.6. 24.4 is where that ought to be, but it's at 23.7. So let's deduct 23.7. Looks like it's 7/10 too low. Well, can we just move this thing up 7/10 of a foot? We can get it here, and we can say displace. Well, be careful that we Z. I'm going to take it up 7/10 of a foot. Let's see if that's all right. Yeah. And this one is the same way. Displace it 7/10 of a foot. Okay. And that looks more like those panels look like on the drawings. That's why I always look. All right. Now back to where we were. We have this one point for the beginning of the next panel, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to mirror that across the other side. Okay, so now we have we have the beginning of the next panel, and the next panel is 12 feet and down 14 degrees. So we'll add a line there again, like we did before, an edge. Let's go from here over to there. There's our edge. Say okay. Now we're going to extrude the edge. So we'll extrude it, and we're going to use our vertical angle is minus 14 on these guys. The distance is still 12 feet. Say okay. Aha. Looks like the next panel we have. And so let's do a side view again. And that looks just right. So now this guy, we're going to displace him. We're going to duplicate him, rather. It's over 15 feet, but it's down a foot also. So I think we can say duplicate, and in the Y direction, we're going to go over 15 feet this time. And in the Z, it's what? It's 3 feet. And I think it's, let's see, let's cancel this and see where it is to start with. This guy wants to be down 3 feet. And 20, that's correct. So this guy going to move over, but it goes down a foot. That's the idea. I get this right yet? So let's get this panel again and select it if we can, and by its edge there. And we're going to duplicate, and we're going to take it 1 foot down, and we're going to take it over 15 feet. And so y minus 15. Let's see if that's right. Okay. That's the way it looks. I actually left this gap for loudspeakers looking down here. We didn't want to do that. So now we have 2 more of these panels. 2 more. And are they 12 feet? Let's see. Let's say I almost have to go to this view to do that. We want to know from there. Let's keep for distance and show distance. 12 feet, that's correct. Each one of them is 12 feet. The next guy, it's just one more, and it's 14 feet over and down 2 feet from this one. We can just select it here. And this one's upside down, isn't it? We want to be looking at the blue side, like this should be blue here. This one's upside down. So let's flip it over while we're noting that. And this one may be the same way. Went right by it, yeah. Okay, so this guy now we're going to duplicate. And it's going down 2 feet and over 14. So minus 14 here and down to minus 2. Say okay. Okay. Well, looks good. Material. Looks like it's upside down again, but we can fix that. That's the back side. So here, this guy, let's just pick him and do an F4 and check the face is chipboard and the rear is insulation. So okay, and so the face is orange, just like the face of our panels on the wall. I'd say this model is now finished. And we're ready. Let's do a final F6 and hope it's okay. It's all right. Let's see what we can do if we render it. What does it look like? Oh, no telling. Well, got the insulation that's yellow on the back. Seats are kind of tan. That's not bad. Face of those panels is typical chipboard color. In this case, it's that gray, light color. And looks like we're missing a wall panel in the rear. It's not showing. Let's see. Sometimes that's the way it works. But these panels, I'm not sure what the color is of those. We're not showing that one over there. And sometimes sometimes when we render these things, that happens. Let's make it larger. And let's see if we can see, if we turn it around, can we see the, I'm seeing the wall panel on either side. We might go take a look at that and check their color. That might do it. The glass, it looks like the back side of this is not right. It wants to be glass on both sides. Let's it's black. It looks like it's an absorber. I'm going to close that for right now. Let's check this first. And let's do an F4. The back of it should be glass heavy. Absorbers are black, but that wouldn't hurt because it's pasted on this wall, but it looks kind of crummy. So we'll say OK and OK. Let's check this one. Same thing. It's heavy. OK. OK. Let's see what this is like. That's looks okay, but I don't know what its color is. Sound absorbing wall A. Can we check that out easily? Yeah, we can. We can go over here to main east panel here and go to wall materials, and we can say, what about this sound absorbing wall here? Oh, and the color is white or something, so we don't want that. Oh, what do we make those? We haven't got any blue in here. Gee, have to have some blue or red or something. We'll make them, how about a light blue? Say OK. And when we do that, we want to go here and say, save the wall material. It's almost purple, that's bad. And we can close it then. And we can go back over here. We got to check the data. That's F5. And now maybe we can render it again. And now we have those walls are blue and they show like that. We can at least show them that way. No, we didn't get one of them changed. Yeah, we did. They're both changed. So we could change the chipboard from white and make it, well, sometimes I've used it kind of a light yellow color. So we can always change the glass is now kind of like gray. So I'm going to close that, do a final F6, and I'm going to say that this model is now finished. So have fun doing it. I always do. So I'm going to do a